Hey everybody, thanks for watching Harris After Dark or whatever it's called. Here heading into week 8 of the NFL season. My name is Chris. With me as always is Jim McCormick. Hello, Jim.
Hello. I love that we don't have a title and it's week 8 because this is the NFL season. Who knows?
We kind of have a title. It's Harris After Dark or whatever it's called.
Yes.
Which is, kind of a trope from the podcast.
Long acronym.
All right, just show everybody your t-shirt. Stop talking.
Jerry Rice, private jet.
Well, he's got a lot of them, folks, and we've had long conversations about how his wife allows them to stay in the house, and he has a box. That's the answer.
That's it.
He has a box. Looking back on week 7, you'll notice, ladies and gentlemen, that I am not wearing New England Patriot footy pajamas, which means I did not have a winning week. I promise when I have next time I have a winning week, which will be the first one in a while, I will wear the footy pajamas and sweat through the entire show. I thought for sure. I was 6-3. I was golden. I had 3 games to go, 6-3. I was going to be wearing those scratchy flannel footy pajamas, and I lost the last 3 to go 6-6. I still think I topped you, though.
Well, I mean, nobody saw the Steve Spurrier effect coming with with your footy pajama team, where it's just like, let's just rotate quarterbacks. Let's just figure it out. So.
I know. That was bad. We both screwed up the Monday night game. I screwed up the Sunday night game. I screwed up one of the late games. Both of our best bets came through. That was good. I had the Titans. You had the Chiefs against the 49ers, as I recall. So nice job there. So our best bets are hanging in there. Overall, I'm sure Pyper is putting up our records overall, and they're not good. Let's see. I have to go to the Felix Grays because I have to be able to see my computer. Scott Cheney was the kind viewer who indicated down in the comments what his best bet was. And his best bet was the Browns, which was going against both of us. He loved, of all the bets out there, he just said, by God, those Browns are going to cover against those Ravens. And what was your reaction to that, Jim?
I mean, whenever you can fall in love with Cleveland, go for it. I mean, just Eastern Ohio.
Pyper agrees. All I can tell you is that Dave Pyper, our producer, agrees. So, of course, we're going to indicate our best bet as we go along. We'd love to hear your best bet down in the comments, and we'll call someone out who nails it. We're here. We are in week 8. We got a couple of island games, as they say, to start us off. We have a Thursday night game that on paper doesn't suck until you realize that Tampa Bay is god-awful. They are hosting the Baltimore Ravens on Thursday night. It should be at least fun to watch. And as I have it right now on the road, the Ravens are favored by 1. What do you think?
This is some sort of riddle. It's like what happens when a do-it-all threat with personnel, issues in Baltimore tries to get his told. Like, here's my thing.
That went nowhere. What?
No, I know. Here's my thing. I fell off the path, but here's my thing. I feel like Lamar Jackson trying to get his whole team to switch to Android. I know I talk about the iPhone Android thing a lot, but I feel like there's a disconnect here. He's trying to be Tom Brady, and what has happened is that Lamar Jackson has convinced everybody to get some weird Google phone, some off-brand phone, and they just can't communicate anymore. That's what it feels like.
That's the Brady? What Brady feels like or what Lamar feels like?
No. Brady has his own problems. I'm trying to talk about what's wrong with the Ravens. And the Ravens...
You realize that the person who's watching this show for the first time now thinks that you're a lunatic, correct?
That's an acceptable first impression. My point being, nobody wants a Google Pixel, Lamar. Nobody wants this. Stop it. But more importantly, I think that Baltimore is the better football team. I don't know why. So
you're going to give the point.
Because the Bucs have been a mess without any reason. Like, what are they doing?
Yeah. I'm with you. Like, I thought, because you know what I do? I'm watching all these games and I feel like I'm developing opinions not only just on their general gestalt, but also how they play. And I thought Tampa was going to be favored. So here I was, really clever. I try to guess what the lines are going to be beforehand, and that kind of dictates what my pick is going to be. And I thought by saying this is a pick'em game, I was like, oh, for sure I'm going to be on Baltimore because of course Tampa's still going to be favored. It's such a public team with Brady. Nope. So I don't like it, but I'm on the opposite side. I'm on the Buccaneers. I'm going to take the point, and doesn't at some point it have to get figured out? I don't know. It is weird. It doesn't seem like it has a great explanation. I tried to spend some time on the podcast talking about why, and I don't. I think it goes beyond digital platforms.
If you see the AT&T lady on the sidelines, then you're gonna know that there's a problem. So.
No, that might mean the solution. Lily, you mean?
Oh, yes,
I think she's a friend of a friend. I'm in LA right now. She actually is the act that
she might. She's literally telling Tom. She's like, just stop.
Stop. All right. So the other island game before we get to the main slate on Sunday is yet another London game for which I have to be awake at like 5:30 in the morning. I'm so happy that these keep happening. It is the Broncos. It is the Jags. Apparently Russell Wilson is going to play. I'm giving you a line that's sort of like a Wednesday night-ish line that maybe isn't fully accounting for Russell being back. But then again,
how much does that matter?
yeah. How many points is that worth? So this is a neutral site game. Although, as you know, you get at Jacksonville. I'm gonna stop now.
Boy, you're not a Jaguar fan.
It was a little bit Aussie there. I apologize. Bloody well right. Everybody in London loves the Jags because they go there every year. So who do you want?
I'll just do my best Philly accent. Yeah, the Jaguars. Yeah, indeed. I mean, there's a clear connection between Philadelphia and Britain. We only left them like a couple minutes ago. If you think about it, if you think about the quantum leap of the world, like quantum leap. First of all, they're bringing it back. Like, whoever thought to bring that show back? I mean, seriously though, Russell Wilson was like rolling out his legs on the plane, right? Was that the?
I don't just think he was rolling it out. Apparently, he was like working out in the aisle,
lunging. I mean, we all hate that guy on the plane. We all hate. Oh
my God,
we hate that guy.
He's jostling the chairs as he goes by. He's just trying to sleep. He got a little glass of bubbly.
He's arguing over vinaigrettes at 3 a.m. on an overnight flight. Like, I'm sorry, the Jags, because I'm willing to believe that Trevor Lawrence just accepted whatever dressing they gave him. So.
I forgot to tell people what the line was because that's what kind of pro that I am. Yeah. It's Jags -2 in a neutral site game. So
they're the better team. They are.
I also am on the Jags here, not by a lot. I don't know. Like the Jags are not great either.
They're mistake makers. Yeah.
Sure, they're young and dumb and full of something. I'm very much that last drive, having had the Giants in that game. Last drive Jacksonville had it was endless. It took like 15 minutes. They kept challenging it, kept going to fourth down. It was rough, but in the end it worked. That one worked out in at least my favor. I think both of our favor. All right. So we're going to get to the main slate here in a second. It has started out, we admit, it's been a rocky start.
Come on,
what
are we doing?
The accents and Jim lazy accents and, always going back to the Philly thing. What the hell?
What is that?
We're sponsored by DraftKings, who, if they were watching this as we were recording, might pull the plug and decide they're done sponsoring the entire channel. But fortunately,
it's possible.
Producer Dave Pyper is going to make this all look so much better. If you're looking for a place to play these games, it is fun. Like, put $5 on a game. If you live in one of those states where you can do it, it's fun. It gives you a rooting interest. If you're going to bet on the World Series, if you're going to bet on English Premier League, you got Champions League wrapping up. You got college football this weekend. Fun place to play, DraftKings. You can download that app. Use the code HarrisTube. They have a promotion right now with NFL. If you make a $5 bet straight up on any of the games that we talk about today, your team just wins. Not with the point spread, just wins. They'll give you $200 in free bets. So if you're looking for a place to play, we would love it if you would use the DraftKings app and sign up using that code HarrisTube. And we apologize to DraftKings for the sponsorship. No, we're thrilled. We're thrilled to have them. And we think we're doing a wonderful job, except for the part where we're getting it right back on the rails, guys, right now, right back on the rails as I put my glasses back on. Dolphins going to Detroit. Always, obviously, Tua was always made to be a 3.5-point road favorite, like we all expected at the beginning of the year. What are you gonna do? What are you doing here?
I mean, there's not like when my favorite part is like looking up like random against the spread things, and my favorite is 5'10" Samoan quarterbacks in Michigan. Okay, and they cover all the time. I mean, they just do.
Oh, do they really?
So, my thing is that like Detroit is just as bad as we all didn't want them to be. I guess like they were supposed to be this team that would make better decisions and all these things. And then I heard that Aiden Hutchinson is standing up with the linebacking crew, and I was like, I'm going to give the points.
I am too. This one. I said it at 6. This one felt like
bad. Yeah.
So, I mean, the excuse that everybody who loves the Lions and loves the fantasy weapons in the Lions is you're not seeing the same team. No Swift, no St. Brown. You're not seeing the same team. And
no,
I'm I'm willing to go down with that ship. They might both be back for this game, but I'm willing to go. I'm going to lay the points because, these road favorites have done so well this year. We got the Panthers off their embarrassment pantsing of Tom Brady going to Atlanta, where Atlanta kind of got embarrassed a little bit too. We were both, on the correct side of the Bengals last week against the Falcons. The Falcons, for the first time this year, did not cover. They are favored at home. They are giving 4.
Yeah. Wow. What a division. Like, can we just talk about the NFC South? Like, what are we doing? I'm going to give the points here because last week I understand what happened with. I don't understand what happened with that Panthers game. So what I'm trying to say is I'm willing to
analysis. That's analysis. That's a clip of. Clip that, and that is our show right there. I understand what happened. No, I don't understand what happened. That's it. That's the show.
Well, my point is, I'm willing to say that you can't I'm going to compartmentalize that and throw it out because what was that? Like, that wasn't a good football team. That was the Bucs losing. And I mean, PJ Walker made 2 throws, and it worked somehow in an NFL game. It's just a better team. I think Atlanta throws a bunch at the wall. They're kind of like the low-key Giants. Like, they just keep throwing stuff at the wall. Like, schematically, I'm saying. And some of it works.
Sort of like the low-key Titans.
Yeah, that's what it is because it's the Arthur Smith weirdo. I particularly love the fact when they're down 21 and they keep running. But
I mean, they were down 21-0 and they threw it 13 times the whole game.
That's my favorite part. But thankfully, the Panthers can't punish these tendencies. So
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be down here. So we're both on the Falcons there. We got the Cardinals fresh off their impressive Thursday night win that we both got wrong. Going to Minnesota, the Vikings coming off a bye, and they're okay, I guess. They're 4-point favorites at home against the Cardinals.
What does Kirk Cousins do on the bye week? Does he just broil liver? Like, what does he do? Like,
day after day, he just takes a death rock out of the jar of death rocks. He has, you know that, right? He's got the jar of death rocks that outside his house, where every day it represents like a day of his life, and when it's done, he'll be dead. So he just looks at death rocks, I think.
If I ever want to know my own fate, I think about Kirk Cousins and his, I don't know, his jawline. It's like.
I don't think it's that impressive of a jawline, to be honest. I think it's a little weak.
Yeah, but he also was able to sustain 2 years of executive calling the wrong name. So,
I mean, that's not really that much to do with his jawline, but it is a random fact about him. That's a good point.
Sure.
But then again, so were the Death Rocks. But you asked me what he does during the bye week. Anyway, somehow you haven't made a pick yet.
Yes. I mean, I feel like he plays somehow he plays PlayStation 4 games, even though he has PlayStation 5. It's like, what are you doing, Kirk? And
is there a pick in there somewhere?
Yes. My pick is I'm giving the points because Kirk Cousins is well rested, and he just got Wi-Fi this week.
he heard about it and he thought it was sort of Satan's whispers, and he was like really
he's
resisted.
He sends you a picture of the password.
Yeah, he resisted for a long time the devil's whispers, but finally he got Wi-Fi and he's like, oh my god, I can watch film now. I'm with you. That's why 100%. That's why I'm on the Vikings as well. Yeah. It is the devil's whispers. We have got the Bears traveling to the Cowboys. The Bears, I don't know why that happened on Monday night. That's crazy. The bettors don't seem to think that it was real because the Cowboys are giving 9 points.
Now, I know you spoke. I know you spoke about Fields on your show. I know. But I'm asking you, is there anything actually that they switched? Is there anything different that they're really doing with Chicago?
I think they ran a little more. They ran him with a little more purpose, and I think they did it because the Patriots have weak linebackers, and I don't think you can get away with that crap against the Cowboys. I think you try to run that student body left stuff, where it's just like he just takes off and goes right, and it worked really, really well,
Sure.
But I just think the Cowboys will snuff that out. I'll say right now, I'm guessing the lines beforehand. When I guess 9, do I think I'm going to nail the line? No. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to be on somebody's side, and I guess 9, so I have no bet on this one.
Right. I'm willing to give it. I think that there's something brewing here. Like, meaning, like, I know that, like, the Dak thing didn't work last week, and but I do think there's something developing here with them. Like,
wait, you use a lot of pronouns there. You mean the Cowboys? You're taking the Cowboys and giving the 9 points.
Yes. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of words.
What's brewing? I don't understand what's brewing.
I think they're starting to. I think it's going to actually click this week. The offense. Okay. Yes. Yeah.
They're starting to be good.
Whereas last week it looked like a Cooper Rush offense still. So.
Yeah, no Zeke Elliott. I think we're told that we'll have no Zeke, so it's a lot of Tony Pollard. Yeah. I think start Tony Pollard in fantasy. I think that's probably a pretty good idea. The Raiders are going to the Big Easy. I don't know if you've ever heard it called that, but it's called the Big Easy.
Is that what the cool kids call it?
No, because I just called it that. New Orleans Saints. The Raiders are favored, as they should be, in my mind. They are giving 2 points on the road, and as we've said, the road favorites always cover.
I mean, the big question is it Jameis Winston or is it Andy Dalton?
It's Andy Dalton.
I'm kidding. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Well, probably. I mean, the thing is, Andy Dalton's supposed to play not like Jameis Winston. You know, that Thursday game, the first pick six, not his fault, but the second pick six, oh my God. And it changed, completely ruined the game. And that's what Jameis does. So maybe Jameis is getting crab legs on Andy. I don't know.
Oh, well, that just sounds like a punk band. But I'm going to actually stick with the Saints. I would love their draft pick as an Eagles fan, but I just feel like they actually hold court here. So
I'm going to take the Raiders. I set this one at 4. It isn't fair because it's Houston. Mm-hmm. Like this Josh Jacobs renaissance where suddenly everybody loves him. And I feel like I'm the hipster going, okay, well, I always loved him, but now I don't even think he's that great. I don't think he has as easy a time here, but the Saints are just missing so many guys in the secondary. Have you heard the Honey Badger's name called once during the game this year? Like, is he even on the field? He is, but he's not doing a lot. I think you can get enough work done via the air against this Saints, and I just don't fear the offense. So I'm not saying it's crazy to take the Saints, but I'll take the Raiders because, again, road favorites. They cover all the time. They never, ever cover. The Footy Pajama Patriots are going to visit the Jets. In a just world, I would have assumed maybe the Jets would be favored, considering they are like 2 games ahead of them in the standings and actually kind of playing marginally well, especially on defense, and have figured out not to let Zach Wilson ever throw if you can avoid it. But no, the Patriots go to New York, and they are giving 1.5 points.
I wasn't sure that if there's any way to, like, by proxy, pump up Joe Flacco's ego, but we've done it.
Oh, man.
Like,
yeah.
He's in some bar in, like, North Secaucus, just like, I'm actually better than this guy. like me. So I just can't take the Joe Flacco.
And I suck.
Yeah, no, like, and he's not even being that cocky. He's just like, I'm not him.
Right.
And, I don't know. Like, it's really dangerous how bad this Zach Wilson character is. Like, it's bad. And so I'm going to go.
Were we saying the exact same? I'm going to go the same way as you are. So I'm sorry to interrupt you. But like the realist, the rationalist in me says, weren't we saying the exact same thing about Justin Fields last week? Belichick just messes with bad quarterbacks. That's why you give 8 or whatever. I'm with you. I'm on the Patriots too. It's only by 0.5 point. I set the line at 2. It's 1.5. I don't feel good about
Justin
it. But
Fields had one quiver. Like one. He had one thing to pull.
I mean, Wilson doesn't have quite that level of mobility, but he is very mobile. He just, there are times where Justin Fields' mobility looks every bit like Zach Wilson's mobility. In other words, a chicken that has had its cranium.
Zach Wilson looks like he's on like a broken Dance Dance Revolution machine. Like
he rolls towards the short side of the field and then seems shocked there's a sideline. Wait, who put this here? Like,
he's so mad there's not a jump pass in Madden. Like
it happens. It happens all the time. He rolls and he rolls and he rolls and he realizes, oh my God, the hash mark is on this side. Are you kidding me? And like quickly tries to throw it out of bounds. Sometimes forgets. He's really not good. I feel
like he falls asleep to Carson Wentz highlights. Like, it's not good.
He was the number 2 overall pick. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. It's not. Jamar Chase is over there going, hey guys, what's going on? Kyle Pitts is over there going, oh, I'm better than him too.
Why'd you draft me?
Well, that's fair too. Titans, on whom I made some money last week, go to the Texans, who are not good.
You've been good with Titans this year. You've been sharp on them this year.
Okay, well, I probably disagree. We'll have to go back to the tape. Tannehill got hurt in that game last week. Came out actually. They played the kid, the Liberty Flame, I think is their name.
Yeah.
And he handed it off, and then he came in for the next series and fumbled fumbled a Jets motion, whatever. Right. So there's a question about whether Tannehill plays when they come back in the game. I mean, Zeke Elliott came back in the game, so I guess this isn't always true. But when they come back in the game, I usually think they're going to play the next week. Clearly, if people are getting information that it's not Ryan Tannehill in this game after they, the couple of days later when they see this video, I wouldn't necessarily think this is a good line. But I actually am not betting this one either because I also said it at 2. And I mean, the Titans are a better team than the Texans, but they just don't want to push. They just aren't interested. They want to win every game by a field goal. They want to win every game by, so that's one where I feel real leery about laying road favorite points with them.
This is just one of those games that, first of all, let me just read what I wrote because it's
good because it's
pretty bad.
You wrote a good line. Yeah.
I said, this is a bear in the woods game. If Ryan Tannehill records a German soap opera in the woods while throwing 2 touchdowns to George Swaim, does anybody see it?
Oh my God. What? The biggest criticism I have is that it's Jeff Swaim. And I'm actually not sure he's on the
it's called Das Footen, okay? And it's just it just highlights, random highlights with synth music, and it's Ryan Tannehill throwing touchdowns to some big chubby tight end. And Austin Hooper's over here why'd you sign me?
Honestly, we can promise you that neither one of us is on mescaline, but we understand why you're asking.
Right.
We do.
Right. But I have to say, Derrick Henry, this is not a made-up stat. He has 700 yards in his last 3 games against the Texans. I'm taking the Titans. He literally has
I'm not betting it.
210 and 210. So
okay, I'm not betting it. And you have the Titans.
Yes.
The Giants, who have only lost 1 game still, and weirdly were a road dog last week, and we didn't understand it. We both thought they should have been favored at Jacksonville. They go to Seattle, and Seattle getting respect that the Giants are not getting.
Finally.
Seattle -3.
Yeah. I mean, the Giants have a +20 point differential and somehow have 6 wins, which is just incredible. I don't know if you guys know the math, but that's pretty incredible. But the Giants can only dream of having Geno Smith, a capable game manager. But what I do know is that Pete Carroll detests neckbeards. So he is so against this entire Brian Daboll thing. He wants men to make choices. Either choose it to here, do something with that.
Can Seattle we see yours? Can we see your?
That's my point. I'm saying Pete Carroll doesn't respect me either. And so yeah. I'm not sure where I'm going with that, but all I'm trying to say is one guy's chewing gum, one guy's chewing Nicorette, and I'm going with Seattle.
I don't know which guy is which, but they're both chewing. No question. No question about it. Daboll does not look like a smoker, if you know what I mean.
Well, that's my point. He's Nicorette. He's getting off of it. So.
Oh, okay. Well, he's large. I think it's Petey. I think Petey Sunshine is actually.
You're right. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the minivan smoker. You're right.
I don't feel strongly about it, but I'm going the other way. We haven't had too many disagreements in this show. I'm going to say, once again, Giants, little bit disrespected. Don't think they're necessarily good, but don't think they're terrible. And I would say the same thing about the Seahawks. It feels like the Giants only seem to play close games. I'm gonna take the road dog here. I'm gonna take the 3 points. Again, I set this at Seattle -2, so please don't make me think that it's.
Do you think the Giants know who they are? I think that maybe, but the Giants, do they know who they are a little bit more? Meaning that they know their identity a little bit better.
I think the Seahawks do too, though.
Right.
I think the Seahawks have a nice grasp of Geno's stats have been really good occasionally, but mostly it's a very conservative offense, and I don't think we think they have DK Metcalf here. There's probably not going to be a ton of turnovers unless someone gets behind. They're both buttoned up, good. It just shows you how bad a head coach Joe Judge was.
Oh my God!
Just all you needed to do was get everybody on the same page and kind of liking each other and understanding what their roles are. Just be like a human resources guy, and then we'll get to the playbook and we'll get to all the funny stuff you want to do after that. And just getting them all on the same page makes you realize that the roster wasn't as terrible as it's looked.
I'm gonna guess it hasn't changed him. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Man, it seems like Bailey Zappi's very well adjusted. So He's doing a great job there. All right, so your Eagles are a very, very, very heavy favorite in the Battle of Pennsylvania, which clearly historically is one of the most irrelevant rivalries that Chris Berman will talk a lot about. The Steelers are visiting your Eagles, and the Eagles are giving 10.5 points.
I mean, can Philadelphia just get a break for being awesome for once? Jesus. Like, I mean, as Tampa taught us, be wary of road teams that have Wi-Fi. Okay? Like, seriously, though, this is a lot of points.
It is.
And oh, man, this is tough for me. But I'm taking Pittsburgh because it's too many points. It's just too many points. It's just too many points.
I set it at 10, so I'm also on Pittsburgh.
I 9.5, so I'm right there, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like, so, you know, if I want to tell myself a story of how this goes, the story I tell myself is, the Eagles are definitely up 21-3 in the first quarter, because that's how these things go.
Yeah, the template.
Or, you know, by the end of the second quarter, right? Second quarter is usually when they go crazy. But then they forget they're playing a football game, and you know, Dallas Goedert gets distracted by some spare change on the field, and suddenly it's, you know, 21-14, and don't ask me how they got from 21-3 to 21-14. It's complicated. And I just hopefully
Chase Claypool has a protein shake, and it's like almost tied. So
right.
Yeah.
Right. And then the Eagles will be fine, but
yeah,
I'm with you. So we've got the Commanders. They're going to Indianapolis. It was supposed to be Matt Ryan against Carson Wentz. I feel cheated. I may just protest this game. I know I'm supposed to, for the podcast, watch every game, but Jim, I may not watch this one just out of protest because I didn't get my disgusting old stinky quarterback matchup. Instead, I get a completely unknown, probably disgusting, young, embryonic quarterback. It's Sam Ellinger, who's being sold as like, no, trust me. He was really our plan. We were just Matt Ryan, you know, but he was holding the seat for Ellinger, those Colts. So truthful. The Colts somehow are still 2.5 point favorites.
I love how Sam Ellinger looks like he couldn't grow a beard if like it was a contest.
Hey.
But
I resemble that remark.
But Frank Reich has not asked you to start for his team yet. So
that's fair.
I don't know. I wrote no, just no. Can we just say that Heineken is a really metallic lager? Because like Heineken, like everyone's talking about like Heineken, like it's a terrible beer. But it's way better than whatever spiked energy drink the Colts are putting out there. Like at least Heineken is like an actual beer. But I know, here's what I said. I said Sam Ellinger, that sounds like a complimentary character in a bad Brad Pitt movie. So Sam Ellinger is the guy he kills in the boat or something. So
oh wow. I thought you were gonna say maybe like a fantasy, you know, going to the center of the earth to find some ring or something.
It sounds like a British guy who, like, I don't know, is the
dropped
fall
his
guy.
monocle in his tea.
Yeah, he's like, Sam, you turned on me. And so
was that a London guy by way of Philly? Was that what that was?
He's like, yeah, I did, you turned on me. So I think like, yeah, dude, I can't trust anybody anymore. So,
my monocle.
Yeah, dude, stop checking my credit score. So I know I'm taking the points because the Colts are that bad. They just are. They're terrible.
Yeah, I'm taking them too. I thought on a neutral field, the Commanders actually might be a little bit better.
Right, I thought so too.
Two defenses are probably pretty good. I think both defenses have like held up well given what they've had to deal with offensively. But yeah, I just will take the chance that Heineken knows what he's doing. He's metallic and he's metallic in the right ways.
Yes, exactly.
We've got the 49ers coming to Los Angeles for a home game.
Yes.
Against the Rams, a rematch of a few weeks ago that we both got correct, I believe. And the Niners on the road with the Rams coming off a bye week and the Niners coming off getting embarrassed and pantsed by the Chiefs. The Niners are a 1.5 point favorite.
I just don't get what the Rams did to get better at football. Like, not that the McCaffrey trade makes some huge difference, but I'm saying like the Niners. I mean, that was bad last week against the Chiefs. So let's not, But generally, I just think they play better football than these guys, and I think they're a better football team. I'm going to give the points, particularly because there's no home field advantage here. So
it's a disadvantage.
So if we called this neutral, I would favor San Francisco anyway. So I'm just going to take it. Like,
I have a feeling the neutrality is built into the line
It
It's
is. It is.
probably
It is.
why it's
They're not
a pick,
unaware of that. Right. Right.
Right. Right. It is a Niner home game. I
You're
have
right. It's
friends
priced in. It is.
I have the friends who have Rams season tickets, and the Niners are the one team that they're like, I'm going to make the Cowboy fans and Niner fans. They're the ones who will they'll spend anything.
The triple.
They just want to come to a better city and watch their team play here.
Yeah.
So I'm with you on the 49ers, though. This is the same logic that we talked about the Titans Colts last week. They just played? What happened? What changed?
Right.
And I don't think the line's like completely outrageous.
But they whooped them last time, and
they did.
Can we talk about how Matt Stafford is handsome Eli Manning? Can we talk about it? So
he's like handsome pudgy though, isn't he?
Yeah.
Handsome pudgy Eli Manning.
Or he's like, I don't even know his hand. I'll just say red cup. He's like frat boy. He's like frat.
Yeah.
Frat Eli.
Solo cup Eli.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair. That's a fair statement. And he's not playing very well either. All right. So, boy, the Sunday night game has the potential to be very embarrassing. For one, Mr. Aaron Rodgers, he is going to Buffalo, and he will have the Bills' attention because the Bills are on the national TV. Like, I think rightly so. They probably have a perma chip on their shoulders for this year. That they just any pretender, any person who's gotten publicity ahead of them, any quarterback who won an MVP over their quarterback. They would like to do nasty things too behind the woodshed, and the line reflects that. The Packer defense isn't terrible, but the Packer offense is terrible. The Bills are favored by 11.
Yeah. So here's what I wrote. I said, I feel like every time Aaron Rodgers doesn't convert in the red zone, Joe Rogan's fantasy team snorts meth. I don't know what that means, but it's probably true. But I don't have any standards, and I'm taking the Packers. Like,
you're taking the Packers?
Yeah, I keep saying this with the Bills, and it's not. It rarely works, but I just feel that there's too many paths to them keeping this respectable.
So I also am taking the Packers, but I feel what you just said is the opposite of how I feel.
Okay.
I feel like
there's a lot of paths to this not being good. Yeah.
I mean, there's so many paths. The Bills' offense presents more paths of that kind,
right.
More blowout potential. They haven't blown everybody out, and the Packers are good enough on defense. They're not great, but they're pretty okay. It's just like what's the way?
What's holding their defense back? It's no pass rush, right? They're just like, we have good corners. Like, I don't.
Yeah, but I mean, Jair Alexander kind of got dog walked last
week.
He
has been
Terry
getting
McLaurin
run around. Yeah.
Terry McLaurin kind of dog walked him last week. I set the line at 10, so I have to stick to my system.
Sure.
But I gotta say, everybody watching, maybe you should go the other way.
Not pretty.
The Monday night game, Scott Chaney's favorite team. Maybe we don't really know that, but the Browns are hosting the Bengals. We know it's Dave Piper's favorite team. The Bengals. It's funny, they've certainly put up points these last 2 weeks. I wouldn't want to say the offensive line has delivered heroically. I think Joe Burrow has delivered heroically. I do not feel like those offensive line problems are solved. And Myles Garrett, not Jason Garrett. Myles Garrett would like to have a word. The Bengals on the road are favored by 3.5.
Yeah, when you look at those like pass rushing like metric charts, like Myles Garrett's like up and to the right. Like he's in Micah Parsons territory where it's like you're over here. He's really special. He's legitimately great. That's incredible. He's incredible. At the same time, I do think something's clicking with the Bengals. I do, particularly with the fact that they're just allowing them to deal. I know Chase got a little banged up, but I'm gonna give the points here. I just think that they can't keep up yet. I don't think the Browns can keep up with this.
Betting favorites is just not working out, but I'm on the Bengals here too. I set the line at 6. I'm surprised that it's as close as it is.
I was surprised. Yeah.
Yeah. The offense is, the Cleveland offense, they launch drives. Nick Chubb's great. Like there's a way for them in a kind of game where they're able to keep everything kind of the path here is pressure on Burrow. That's it. Period. They have to blitz and they have to get Garrett going crazy. Because if the Bengals do what they did to the Falcons, the Browns don't have a way to keep up because Brissett isn't good enough. But I don't think the Brown defense has been terrible, I mean that's not true. It's been bad, I guess. They've been run on by some teams, but they didn't really get run on last week until just one kind of random Gus Edwards run down the right side that I remember. But I don't know. This is all I'm kind of Wishing I could find a way to disagree with you, just because
Right.
we are so similar on some of these games. But
I just think
the
they're
favorite's
weak at
gonna
corner, outside corner, and that's not the place to be weak.
yeah, that's fair. No, they're gonna have to do it with pressure. They're not gonna be able to do it.
Right.
with
Exactly.
coverage.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. The favorites have to deliver sometimes, folks. Right?
What?
We're both pretty far under 500 this year.
Yeah.
Assuming that, but at some point I feel like it's gonna start happening, maybe, and maybe some overs too, because it has been an under year all around. We want to know what your best bet is. We haven't actually told you our best bets yet, but have it in your mind before we say ours. Okay? Do you have it in your mind? All right. Don't cheat now. Don't steal ours. Jim, what's your favorite bet here?
I'm going with whatever haircut Ryan Tannehill has this week. I just think that Tennessee team, regardless of quarterback, not really. I hope Ryan Tannehill is healthy for some reason. But I just think they roll. I think this is time, and I think it's Derrick Henry for like 1,000,000 yards, and they cover the two. So,
all right. I didn't even have a play on that one, so I don't know. My best bet, I'm going to say the Vikings. Vikings -4. I don't think the Cardinals DeAndre Hopkins changes things, but I don't think they got more competent. It feels like if I could just sort of trust one coaching staff to have a freak out, it's Cliff Kingsbury. I don't know. The Denver guy's in London. He doesn't count. He's on some other time zone.
He's the only coach who has LinkedIn on his iPhone.
Well, at least he has an iPhone, so he can communicate very, very well.
True. He's on a flip phone.
Lamar Jackson. No, with the opposite of Lamar Jackson. I don't know. I forgot that joke from a half hour ago. So Jim is on Tennessee. I'm on Minnesota. Tell us down in the comments who your favorite bet of the week is based on our point spreads. If I have a winning week, I will be here in footy pajamas. I will take my glasses off. I don't really need them right when I'm looking at all of you. And I want to see a lot of comments down there. Tell us what your best bet is. Also tell Dave Pyper that you're very, very sorry that he has to edit this because it was pretty far flung. But we had fun making it, and we hope that you had fun laughing at it. You can follow Jim on Twitter @_Jimmy McCormick. Follow me @HarrisFootball. And you can follow Dave @Dave A. Piper and wish him well. We thank DraftKings very much for sponsoring. We thank you very much for watching, and we will see you for Week 9. Thanks so much for watching. Please, please, please smash that like button, write a comment, tell us who else you'd like to see us review film on, and of course, best of all, please subscribe to our channel and then click that little bell above the subscribe button and you'll be notified whenever we post a new video.